No separation between life and death. Each moment, a return to home.
My name is Rose Nuttall, and I had terminal cancer.
Each in-breath, life.
I've just been, of course, trying to cope with it, and it's held a lot of surprises for me. You know, just kind of amazing surprises. I never expected it to be kind of such a joyous, in a certain way, experience. And one of the times that I'm supposed to be extremely miserable, I would say this is the most loving I've ever been in my life. I'm 57. You know, that's pretty remarkable. We're all going to die. It's not, you don't get out of it. Our culture, we don't like to face death. We don't talk about it. It's like people act like no one ever died before, and yet everyone dies. It's what we're here for, practically, in a weird, twisted way. That's why I have to prepare. Chodo's going to help me to prepare for when I'm not feeling so good, because it's not so easy then.
In my practice, in Buddhism, the basic teaching is that you come into the world and guess what? You're going out. You know, there's no escape. So it's not so much a question of trying to get someone to the place of where they're accepting death, but to the place of being out of suffering around the death.
I'm just trying to be happy every day. It's not so much loss. I feel like, you know, I can move on to the next thing, you know, and I'm curious too.
It's quite phenomenal to see how people, how brave they are, how resourceful they are, how brave and resourceful we all are. Death is the most egalitarian thing I know about in my life. It's like a party that everyone gets invited to. Doesn't matter how cute you are, doesn't matter, you know, how educated you are, or what kind of a family you come from, or what you have to wear. We're all invited to this party. So we best prepare for it. We best prepare for it, moment by moment. And this doesn't mean that we have to walk around being terrified of dying. No, look death straight in the face and know it's going to happen, and then live your life.
When we release ourselves from the fear of death, because most people they're not really afraid of death, they're afraid of living full out. So once you break that fear of death and fear of living, you become in tune with such a power that is ready to become conscious of itself through you, if you let it happen.
My head is clear. I want to live in this apartment until June, when I move to the hospice residence. I cried actually more moving than I did when I heard I had cancer. And it was a quick move. I had to move from one day to the next. It was fast. I really never cried that much. Now, recently, we're not sure exactly why, but my feet are swollen. That could be the same reason. My doctor thinks the same reason my stomach is swollen. So this is what's been happening. It's more about your function, how you're functioning, how is, you know. I just wanted to be in the now. You know, you gotta have hope.
I remember one of the first things I said to Rose was, so Rose, how does it feel like to be dying? What does it feel like to be dying? She's like, bring it on.
I want to see the snowfall, or I want to see October. I wanted to have a winter coat in my closet to prove to myself that I maybe, you know, to be optimistic. And then hopefully I'll be able to see winter maybe with, you know, we don't know how fast this is going to progress. I was just trying to live day by day, but I'm not cured, and then I'm going to die.
I can't stress this enough. We are all on borrowed time, and we can't all be cured because sometimes it's our time, but we can all be healed.
Hi, Rosie, it's your mama, calling to see how you're doing. I'll call later. Bye-bye.
My mother is 83 years old. When she calls, she's not, she puts on her best face. But we both try hard. You know what? I think at this point, I'm just ready to say, whatever happens, happens.